Hello, everybody. Welcome to the premiere episode of Random Wikipedia Entries. I'm just going to read some random Wikipedia articles. We'll do just, a few at a time. And I've already hit random, and this first one popped up. Noel Toomey. Born in 1969, he's an Irish former Gaelic footballer. And at club level, he played with Macroom, divisional side Muskerry, and was also a member of the Cork senior football team. And he first played Gaelic football as a student at De La Salle College, and he also played at underage levels with the Macroom club. He won a Cork MFC title in 1986, and once he did that, he progressed to the adult level. He was the team's top scorer when Macroom won the Cork IFC title in 1990. He also earned inclusion on the Muskerry divisional team. He first played for Cork as a member of the minor team, the last back-to-back All-Ireland minor finals in 1986 and 1987. He was also team captain. Immediately progressed onto the under-21 team and was at right corner forward when Cork beat Galway in the 1989 All-Ireland under-21 final. He was the first of two All-Ireland medals that year, and he was also a member of the junior team that beat Warwickshire to win the All-Ireland JFC title. His performances in these grades resulted in Toomey being drafted onto the training panel of the Cork senior football team. During his 6-year tenure, he lined out a number of National League games. However, he failed to make it onto the championship panel. He was a member of the Cork team that won the All-Ireland SFC title in 1990. However, as a member of the extended panel, he failed to receive a winner's medal. In retirement from playing, Toomey became involved in team management and coaching. He managed Macroom to the Cork IFC title in 2010. You can see his honors. He had quite a year in 1990. Won an intermediate football championship. Also All-Ireland Senior Football Championship. Munster Senior Football Championship as well in 1990. And so there you have it. That's our first article. Let's go to the next one. We'll just hit random article. Pet insurance. What can we learn about pet insurance? Well, it's a form of insurance that pays, partly or in total, for veterinary treatment of the insured person's ill or injured pet. Some policies will pay out when the pet dies, or if the pet is lost or stolen. As veterinary medicine is increasingly employing expensive medical techniques and drugs, and owners have higher expectations for their pets' health care and standard of living than previously, the market for pet insurance has increased. The following are some of the general exclusions for most available pet insurance plans: intentional or malicious harm to the pet, injury or illness caused by neglect or inexperienced pet handling, loss or harm caused by any form of war, rebellion, or insurrection, hereditary disorders, developmental defects, death from rabies, distemper, viral hepatitis, viral enteritis, leptospirosis, and other diseases, illness contracted prior to purchasing the policy, and spaying or neutering, vaccinations, microchipping, ear or teeth cleanings, and annual checkups. The very first pet insurance policy was written in 1890 in Sweden by Claes Virgin. Virgin was the founder of that alliance. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. At that time, he focused on horses and livestock. In 1947, the first pet insurance policy was sold in Britain. As of 2009, Britain has the second highest level of pet insurance in the world, 23%, behind only Sweden. According to the latest data available from the U.S. Department of Clinical Veterinary Science and the Pet Food Institute, only 0.7% of pets in the United States are covered by pet insurance. In 1982, the very first pet insurance policy was sold in the United States and issued to television's Lassie by Veterinary Pet Insurance, VPI. In the United States, VPI has presented the annual Hambone Award to a pet covered by its policies since 2009. The pet is chosen by popular vote, judged to have incurred injury under the most unusual circumstances. It is named for an unnamed dog who reportedly was trapped in a refrigerator and suffered from mild hypothermia, eating an entire holiday ham while waiting for rescue. How policies work. That's rather lengthy. Yeah, we won't go through all that. Difference between companies. We'll read that. Pet insurance companies are beginning to offer the pet owner more of an ability to customize their coverage by allowing them to choose their own level of deductible or coinsurance. This allows the pet owner to control their monthly premium and choose the level of coverage that suits them the best. Some of the differences in insurance coverage are which pets are covered, typically dogs and cats, though some insurance companies cover horses or other pets. Whether congenital and hereditary conditions like hip dysplasia, heart defects, eye cataracts, or diabetes are covered. How the reimbursement is calculated based on the actual vet bill, a benefit schedule, or usual and customary rates. Whether the deductible, called an excess in some countries, is on a per vet bill, per claimable incident, or an annual basis. Whether there are any limits or caps applied, per incident, per year, age, or over the pet's lifetime, and whether there's an annual contract that determines anything diagnosed in the previous year of coverage is considered pre-existing the next year. That is pet insurance. Let's go to the next one. Mamuka Kazaradze. He's a Georgian, born December 29th, 1966, a Georgian businessman who co-founded the largest Georgian universal bank, JSC TBC Bank, in 1992. In 2019, he moved into politics, setting up a political movement, Lilo for Georgia. In his early life, graduated from Tbilisi Technical University in 1988, and also holds an executive degree from Harvard Business School, where he studied during 1998 to 2000. In 2014, Kazaradze was awarded EY Entrepreneur of the Year in Georgia, the first such award to a Georgian business. He was awarded the Presidential Order of Excellence in 2010. Let's see. So that just talks about his bank. Lilo for Georgia. Let's see what that is. Let's see. In December 2019, Kazaradze, together with other prominent Georgian politicians, set up Lilo for Georgia, a party that seeks to contest parliamentary elections in Georgia in October 2020. Let's see. Anaclea Port. It's a project to build a deep sea port in western Georgia. And I guess he's involved in that somehow. And then IDS Borjomi International. He's founded in 1995 by him and his business partners, building on the Borjomi Mineral Waters brand that was well known throughout the Soviet Union. IDS Borjomi, Georgia, now exports to over 40 countries worldwide. Gazat is one of the first private high schools providing Georgian students with world-class education, co-founded in 2001 by Guivi Zaldastanishvili, with support from Kazaradze and other Georgian entrepreneurs. He currently serves on the board of trustees of Gazat. Chateau Mukrani is an old Royal Georgian winery that first exported Georgian wines 130 years ago. The modern company, Chateau Mukrani, was founded in 2002 by Kazaradze and Badri Japaridze and their business partners. Ooh, trial. So a criminal charge was filed against Kazaradze and his business partner, alleging they were involved in money laundering after he announced formation of Lilo for Georgia. It was deemed as an attack on political pluralism in Georgia. In 2022, the Tbilisi City Court found Mamuka Kazaradze, Badri Japaridze, and Abtandil Siratelli, initially charged with money laundering, guilty of fraud and sentenced to 7 years in prison. However, they were not subject to imprisonment as the statute of limitations had already expired by the time of the ruling. Alright, we got time for a couple more. Let's keep them coming here. Next we have a production possibility frontier, PPF. or also a PPC, or a PPB. It's in microeconomics. It is a graphical representation showing all the possible options of output for two goods that can be produced using all factors of production when the given resources are fully and efficiently utilized per unit time. A PPF illustrates several economic concepts such as allocative efficiency, economics of scale, opportunity cost, or marginal rate of transformation, productive efficiency, and scarcity of resources. And that's the fundamental economic problem that all societies face. So, quantity of guns produced, quantity of butter produced. Why butter and guns are lumped together, I don't know. That's very interesting. All of these say guns and butter. Interesting. Well, that looks like a lot to go through, so why don't we move on to another article. Whoops. Not current events. Random article. Okay, so we have Georges Boutarel, born 21st December 26, died 26th December 2003, a French academic and militant communist who was accused of torturing French prisoners for the Viet Minh during the First Indochina War. And he was born in this town here. And yeah, moved around and then eventually died. So good for him. Next, the Northwestern Joint Regional Correctional Facility, NWJRCF, was a Level 2 correctional activity with facility operations in Fort Lewis, Washington, and Submarine Base Bangor, Washington. It reports directly to the United States Army Corrections Command in Alexandria, Virginia. And it provides custody, control, education, and vocational opportunities, as well as behavioral mental health programs of prisoners in an effort to assist their transition back into the civilian community or return to duty. On order, prepare individual soldiers to deploy and conduct full-spectrum operations. So wait, it says it was a Level 2 facility, but then the rest of the article makes it sound like it's still active. So it's the staff is a rounded out Navy Department and Army civilians. That gives kind of a background of it. Let's see. So it is still an active thing, but this particular structure, building is no longer in use. There was a new groundbreaking for the new facility was held on March 3rd, 2020. So in the second half of 2019, it was announced that NWJRCF would be demolished for the construction of a new facility to be built on the same site. So that explains the was. Let's do one more. The Indiana Uplands AVA is an American viticultural area encompassing much of the Indiana uplands in south-central Indiana. It is bordered to the south and east by the large Ohio River Valley AVA, but does not overlap with it. Viticulture began in the region in the 19th century, but disappeared due to Prohibition before beginning to rebound in the 1960s. Oliver Winery, the largest and oldest winery in Indiana, is located within the AVA. So it's 200 acres. The soil is podzolic and loess. Has 3,383 heat units. And the wine industry was active from 1843 to 1900s and picked up again 1960s to present. And this particular area was established in 2013. 4,800 square miles, 200 acres, 19 vineyards, 17 wineries, and comments as of 2013, whatever that means. All right, I said one more, but let's do one more. To the Christian nobility of the German nation, or in German, an den Christlichen Adel Deutscher Nation. It's the first of 3 tracts written by Martin Luther in 1520. In this work, he defined for the first time the signature doctrines of the priesthood of all believers in the 2 kingdoms. The work was written in the vernacular language German and not in Latin. This gives a history of it. Don't really feel like reading through all of that. So, yeah. Some work by Martin Luther. That's going to wrap up this edition of Random Wikipedia Entries. Be sure to like and subscribe, and be on the lookout for more videos. So long.